Pop out your stream dashboard. I don't even know how to work this thing at this point. Test. Let me test my mic. Hey, y'all. Let me know if you guys can hear me because I have a microphone in. So just let me know if it's working. That way, I can know if I should use this one or another one. Hold on. Perfect. Y'all said that y'all can hear me loud and clear. That's what I like to hear. Y'all know I have upgraded some stuff. So, I want to make sure that my equipment is perfect for y'all because you guys deserve it. So, okay. Okay, so it's 8:04. I was supposed to go live at 8. However, for whatever reason, I've been fighting sleep. I haven't gotten that much sleep this week. So I was like trying to take a nap for as long as I could. So that was that. However, y'all know how my lives are. Hello, everyone. Let me greet everybody first. But you guys know my lives. If you haven't been alive, I usually take the first like 5 to 10 minutes to answer any questions that y'all have. You guys can put that all in the in the chat, and then we can get into the topics that we have on hand. So I just kind of summed up some of the topics that I've seen on YouTube, also in my comment section that I haven't really touched on. So that's what I have for the title today. However, if there's other topics that come about, I don't mind talking about them as well. I'm like I said, I took a nap, so finally I'm up. I got my ice cold water, so I'm ready to go. So let me see. Oh, somebody said $2 already. See, y'all are so like, if I would have thought, I would have never thought that growing up I could do this and people would actually be like supportive in this way. Thank you so much to Shells and Woke, my fellow Igbo girl, I'm assuming. She said, you know what's crazy? I was jamming to Ballin, period. Make sure you guys stream Ballin, stream Ceremony. The great thing that has happened with dropping another song is that my streams on Ballin have now also increased. So thank you all for streaming my music, supporting all the different little things that I do. I'm outside this summer. I've never been outside. I feel like I haven't even gotten a chance to literally enjoy being a young adult. So this summer I'm outside. Whatever that means, I'm doing it. I'm outside. I want to like put myself out there. I'm hosting a meet and greet finally, all of these different things. So it's about time that I step out and show face. So I really appreciate everybody who supports. Oh shoot, we got another super chat. Oh my God. We haven't even started talking about anything, but thank you to 40 Shorty. Says thanks for being you. She sent $20, or he or she, I'm not sure, but thank you so much. And another one from Chelsea, my definite fellow Igbo sister. She said, yes, ma'am, Igbo to my core, Abia State, period. Oh my God, y'all are really showing out. And it's been what, 2 minutes, 3 minutes? Thank you guys so much already. Let me make sure I get to y'all's questions so that we can get to the topics at hand. So if you ask the question, go ahead and resend it because the chat kind of moves very fast. So I'm going to just start going with some of the stuff that I'm seeing right now. So it seems like we got a lot of Nigerians in here today. So shout out to us. Thank you guys for supporting me. Let's see. What do we have? First question I'm randomly seeing is, how do you feel about New York drill and teens dying? It's funny. I went to get a protein shake today and I had like an hour-long conversation with the owner, and we talked about a lot of stuff, and we talked about how music is affecting young people. And I hope he's watching. Well, maybe he's probably not watching my stream, but I just gave him my YouTube channel. But we talked about this like literally maybe 5 hours ago. I definitely think that drill music, starting with that Chicago drill back in like 2012, 2013, like Chief Keef era, I feel like that had a trickle down effect because there were so many people, so many young people affected by that. I think there's so many people as young people, we grew up listening to certain songs. But when that Chief Keef era hit, I feel like that was the beginning of the end where violence really turned it up. I mean, granted, you had 90s hip hop, 2000s where there was gangster music, but I feel like it was a different shift Once that Chicago drill got really popular, then it was New York drill, then you have UK drill. You don't, and there's probably other, different sounds in different cities and areas. So I just think it definitely correlates to a lot of the violence. Because if you're rapping about straps and 30s and bullets and, what's that one bullet that somebody told me about? RIP bullets. Don't ask me why I know what that is. When you're rapping about that stuff, you're influencing people to think that that's cool and it's chic and it's like what people should be doing. I feel like that a lot of male rappers do not get enough scrutiny for the type of influence that they have put on young people, period. But yeah, that's my answer to that. Let me make sure I answer some other people as well. We got some more super chats in the building. Let me make sure I read y'all. We have someone sent like a beautiful heart. Thank you for that cute emoji and sent 199. Thank you. That is Irutan Namu. Hopefully I pronounced it correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then Shyla Curry also sent $2. Thank you so much. And this is your first super chat. So let's celebrate her. Thank you so much, Shyla. I really appreciate you supporting my channel. Wow, you guys are showing out tonight. I was like I was like thinking about live streaming all week. And then this is like my only free day this week, literally this Saturday. And I still did things earlier today. So it was like, let me just use my Saturday to catch up on my Netflix shows, get on live stream, talk to my subscribers. So I'm glad that you guys are available and we got people in here ready to get the conversation going. Let's see some other questions. I know I started like a little bit late, so I'll still take some more questions. How are you? I'm doing good, honestly. Like I said, I'm outside this summer. So I just been, seeing how I'm about to be outside. So I'm very, if I had one word to describe how I've been feeling as of late, is very optimistic about the future. From dropping music, my brand, YouTube, other things, I'm very optimistic at this moment, which is very contrary to how I was maybe about a year ago. So I'm just happy to be in better spaces because it's been tough, especially postgraduate. Nobody talks about that depression that hits a lot of people who graduate college and you don't know what to do. Like that's already normal, but doing it in a pandemic, I graduated in 2020. It just made it like a million times harder. So it's just been a long time coming to get to a point where you're like, you're okay now. Like you feel safe. So let's just hope that God can protect me from any and all evils because I want to stay this way. How do you feel about parents making Instagram pages for newborn babies? I think it's weird. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's so weird. I just saw who was it? DJ Khaled made one for his youngest son. I think that's weird that you're gonna pretend to speak on behalf of your 1-2-year-old child who doesn't even know how to speak. Weird. Not judging nobody, but I just think, well, actually, I am. Actually, I am. It's weird to me. Let's see. Let me get some more questions in here before we get popping. Late November said, "Hi, love. I absolutely love your channel. You have really been going crazy with the daily content, and I appreciate you for that. You're gorgeous in signing out. Thank you. Will you save this live? I most definitely will save this live. I don't know if you guys know, but when you go to my page on YouTube, you'll see like my actual videos, and then you have to click live to see the actual live streams. It's a tab, you won't miss it. Sometimes people don't know that that's there, but I didn't even know it was there for a second because I try to watch other content creators live streams as well. Like my girl Yanni, of course, I watch Lovely T's lives, and things of that nature. So I was missing a lot of people's lives for the longest. And then I was like, oh, it's a separate tab. It doesn't just get fed in with the regular content. So just make sure that you guys know that. Anybody else? Someone said, love your makeup. Thank you. I did it early this morning. I went to a football game at my alma mater in my college. They had their spring football game this morning. No, it was at noon. Well, it's still this morning. So I did my makeup this morning. Excuse me. So I'm surprised it's still staying because I like briefly touched it up. But the wig is kind of gone. It's lifting a little bit. But hey, I put a nice little bun. We're gonna keep it moving. Let's see. Hey girl, have you been watching the new season of Love is Blind? The new season is wild. I actually have not. I just finished Love Island season 2, like right before this live started. Like I watched it, fell asleep, took my nap, and then, got on live. So I wanted to finish that. Now I'm about to go to Love is Blind. So I'm pretty sure I'll finish it like all of next week. So then we can talk about it like next week, if not the week after. Is there snow where you live? Not right now. It's actually been warming up. I don't know if anybody lives in the Midwest, but it's been warming up. So That's what I need to see. I don't like cold. My lease is up here in Ohio in November. And when I tell y'all I am done with Ohio, I need to find another city to live in. I don't know what city to move to. Y'all can suggest, but I just don't want to live here anymore. I'm also considering getting I know I want to get my master's now. Um, I don't want to say too much though, but like I have really been looking at LSU because I always wanted to go to LSU. So maybe I'll be a Louisiana girl. You never know. So we'll see. I'm gonna be doing some trips, over the next few months. Just trying to figure out where exactly I want to go, and I probably won't start that master's program until 2024. But it is definitely on my radar. What else do we have here? Would you ever move out of Philly? Ben did that. I don't live in Philly anymore. I'm like went to college in Ohio, so that was it for me. But my sister still lives in Philly. I've been thinking about just going to Philly, but it's like, don't get me wrong, I love my city, but I just I want to move on. Like I feel like I've been in the same places for a long time, my entire life, and now is the only time not only, but now is the best time I have to like move around, be young. You know what I'm saying? I have no kids, no boyfriend, no nothing tying me down to nothing. So I want to just move around and figure out where I'm going to next because it's about that time. And I don't think Ohio was for me, so I overstayed my welcome, but I did everything I could possibly do here. So it's about my time to just, get up out of here. Let's answer a few more questions before we get into it. I'm trying to just make sure I don't want to miss anybody, but it is skipping. The chat moves fast. Shannon Barbie said, "Do you ever want marriage and kids?" Of course. I think I said this in a few videos, like how I've been celibate for like the longest. And that's just simply because I refuse to get like a new body without it being something serious, like a real relationship or a marriage. I just refuse. I don't really want no casual sex. Like every once in a while you be thinking like, damn, I just need some. But I just been low-key 10 toes down for the longest. So somebody has said yesterday in my comments, I thought it was funny. I think they was trying to comfort me, but I actually thought it was funny. They was like, "Oh, you've been celibate for 3 years. That explains exactly why you act the way how you do." And I was just like, shit, probably. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, probably so. But I didn't take offense to that. But it probably could be. But I know exactly what I want at this point, which all of that has given me so much clarity. So it's like, of course, I'm gonna be a little bit more abrasive about not accepting certain things or allowing certain things because it's like I've been there and done that. Everything I've talked about on my channel, minus being a baby mama, I've been there and done that. So, and honestly, being a baby mama could have happened to anybody. So it's not like I don't experience it or couldn't experience it. It's just simply said like it's everything. Everything I talk about, been there, done that. Take a guy back, overt sexualism, been there, done that. So I don't be trying to really judge, but hey, I'm a hater, so I wear it proudly at this point. Please never stop judging people. This let people do what they want culture is getting out of hand. I most definitely agree. I think it's crazy. I most definitely agree. Someone said, oh, another super chat. I star. I like that. 2 eyes and one, not one, but two. You know what I'm saying? The second one isn't for cutes, period. Been watching since 2018. I love your channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate the super chat. 2018 is actually when I started doing commentary. So you were here when I transitioned into being like a speaker versus being a vlogger or a beauty influencer, which, by the way, was probably the best decision I've ever made. The best career decision was not being a beauty influencer and changing and saying, you know what, Chioma, you don't even want to do that. Because, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm Raven-Symoné Baxter. I be seeing into the future. I knew that beauty industry would eventually get played out because I'm very intuitive. And like I said, I think I'm Raven-Symoné Baxter. And I just knew that eventually people would get tired because behind the scenes, it's so much to be a beauty influencer. Like it takes a lot. People want to make it seem like it's an easy job, but it's not. To do your hair, makeup, outfit, luxury, lifestyle, and put that on display for social media to make money, I just feel like it's a lot of work. Y'all don't even be seeing my face. So it's easier for me to just be with this microphone talking to y'all versus let me do all of this. Granted, I know how to do my makeup because I used to be like a cheerleader, all that stuff. So of course I learned that from high school. But it just, I don't have nothing against it. I respect them ladies. It's just I prefer to be a commentator. I'm very good at it, if you ask me. So you've been here since the beginning. That was the year I decided to just, start being Queen Chama Trigger, as they call me. Let's see. How do you feel about Ella Bands? What does she do? Or just in general? To be honest, she's the one rapper baby mama that I be seeing her pictures and stuff, but I never ever pay attention to her, like, at all. So I don't know. Yanni, do you watch Tony Brienne? Yeah, she is amazing. I am so proud of her growth. I think her channel content is really good. I think she's definitely, it's like certain YouTubers, and maybe I'll make like a little shout out or separate video, but it's certain commentators that I've seen grow over the last few years. And I'm very proud of them, especially like those of us that are women of color, Black women. They've been really doing very well. And I'm very proud because we need more people talking about these things. And she is way nicer than me with the way we talk about the same stuff, but she's nicer than me. I'll definitely say that. I'm very honest. I don't lie. So yeah, I watch her content. I love her content. There's a few other ones, and I would have to like look because they're not going to be on the top of my head, but a few other channels that I feel like they're just doing super well. I love their content and they're so under recognized. I think one of them is Naomi Cannibal. I don't know if anybody watches her, but I just feel like she's so underrated. A few more. Okay, let's do a few more questions and then let's get into it. Did you start your topics or I'm early? You're early. We didn't start yet. So you're right on time, sis. Let's see. What do you think of season 5 of The Circle on Netflix? I've never watched The Circle. I tuned into it like the first season, watched a few episodes, but I never finished. So I will go back and watch all of them. Now that I have like my life back, I most definitely will talk about that because I feel like that's the one thing I missed. I never watched The Circle, but I watched all the other Love Island I just finished. Not UK. I'm gonna transition into UK. I just watched the 2 Netflix seasons that they have of Love Island USA. And of course, as soon as it was over, I went on YouTube to see if anybody was still together. None of them couples are still together. All of those niggas was trash. I don't know. They was all trash from what I see. So anyway, I think we will transition into the main topics. I've been on for about a little over 15 minutes. So I think it's time for us to transition. But if you have any other questions, just kind of hold it. And then towards the end of this, we can kind of come back to it if we have any time left, is what I'm trying to say. But I do have some moderators in here, which is good. So moderators, now that we're going to get into our actual, commentary, just make sure that you're looking at the chat for any weirdos because I get a lot of random haters. It's this one hater. Oh my God, he started talking so much trash about me yesterday. And it's funny because I don't think people know this, but YouTube can show me every comment you've commented on my channel. This is kind of new. I think they rolled this out like this year. So this individual has commented on my channel 251 times. No exaggeration. And all of the comments are literally like hating towards me. And I think if I remember correctly, and I have a very good photographic memory, the day that I said that, and I'm going to stand in saying this because it's going to come up eventually, but I said that Ruby Rose, I'll never forget this. I bring this up all the time. I said Ruby Rose is going to give off a perception of a cum bucket. That's what I said. Yes, I did say that. I think this same individual was very butthurt about that, being that he probably was a Ruby Rose fan and he just been on my ass ever since. And I'm just like, damn, okay, that was very harsh. I'll be real. But I find it very interesting that she got called out for saying, she was excited for Ramadan. And then people are like, but you have a whole profile picture of you bent over covering your cooter cat. So was I wrong? Like, come on now. Like, you're over here promoting this religious holiday, or I don't even want to say holiday, but this religious time that you claim to celebrate as you being a Muslim, which is fine, but you're bent over with your pretty pink pulsing, popping, hot punishing, put it on a pedestal pussy, covered by your 2 phalanges, but you're talking about religion. You know what I'm saying? You can't make this stuff up. In my Kevin Samuels voice, you can't make this up. It's like I've been said this stuff, but people call me a hater. But hey, as to my credibility, I don't always think I'm right, but I do think that I'm very intuitive. But that notwithstanding, let us get into this. I want to talk about a few things, and if there's any extra topics, you guys can definitely throw them out there. But let's just get our 3 topics off the wall because these are the things that I've been seeing lately. So the first thing is the Kardashians falling off. So I watched Lovely T's video earlier today. I watched Sloane's video a few days ago, I believe, if not last week. And I've been watching other commentators' videos on the Kardashians falling off. And I feel like finally we're at the point where it's a crossroads for them and they're trending downwards. I believe that they are falling off simply because they are not relatable and they're completely out of touch. And I feel like as a commentator, an influencer, a celebrity of any sort, it is to the point now in 2023 where if you are not someone who can relate to your audience, it's over. Because everybody has had years of the gimmicks, years of the jokes, years of the bullshit. We've all seen it. YouTube was thriving off of toxicity and fake pranks and relationship channels and just everybody being mesmerized by like a Kardashian or a Kylie Jenner's or whatever. We did that for so long to the point where I even look at some YouTubers who are beauty influencers and I'm just like, sis, what happened to the views? Like, what's going on? And I feel like that also transcends into the Kardashian empire just kind of falling off and being lowered over the years. And I think 2023 is their downfall, period. I think it was 2022, but for real, it's like stamped in this year. There was something that was said that Kim Kardashian cursed herself by wearing Marilyn Monroe's dress. Now, let me wake this up. I truly do think that that was a very big turning point on how people viewed her because it seems to me there's this obsession that she has that deals with wanting to embody somebody, whether they're alive or dead. She always wants to embody something. She always has these very big I guess fascinations with certain oops, sorry, knock the mic. These very big fascinations with certain public figures, celebrities, like I said, alive or dead. And I think that is why the downfall is coming because Kim Kardashian, I don't think they're secure people, the whole family. They're financially secure, don't get me wrong, but their insecurities shout. And once people started realizing, like, hey, you're kind of just like us, people kind of be like, well, you're not better than us, or whatever we thought was glamorous is no longer as, I guess you can say, embellishing as we thought it was. And I think Kim Kardashian having obsessions with other people shows that she herself is not secure within herself. I do think that Kim Kardashian thinks that she's a beautiful person, but I don't think that she's overall secure. I mean, when you think about it, her life was kind of up and then now it's kind of down. I could have told y'all back in 2014 or whatever that Kim and Kanye wasn't going to last. I've been knew that. I've been watching the Kardashians since they first came out. I was definitely a Kardashian follower. I'm not going to lie. And I think that what ended up happening is that because they've had to basically finesse and finagle, snake and scheme their way into this empire that they have, it's finally blowing up. Like, you know how everybody says, like, what goes up must come down? I think that's what it is. I think that for whatever reason, they have not been able to conceal the fact that they're shitty people. They're not the best people. And they're, like I said, tone deaf. They're out of touch. They most definitely use people. They've stolen from designers. They've appropriated cultures, everything. They've done everything that you could think of that shows that, hey, you guys have way too many instances in which people are like questioning what type of character do y'all have. And I know I read it somewhere on a no, probably actually it was a YouTube video, but people just said, wow, like the Kardashians have been tolerated. And I think that's the perfect word, that they've been tolerated for so long. Because when I think about it, there's no reason that they should be this big, this rich, this famous, this successful. I mean, there's been not thousands, maybe hundreds of families or people that have had reality TV shows. What is it about the Kardashians that have them exceed over others? There has to be some weird shit. So let me pull up a tweet that I tweeted a few days ago. I don't even get on Twitter like that, but every once in a while I have a random thought and I have to post it. So I tweeted, when was this? on March 28th, so about a few weeks ago, and I said, "This sounds crazy, but I can totally see the Kardashians having a Netflix special in the next few years that is similar to that of the Murdals. There's no way that family is just completely innocent of stuff. It's probably not as heinous as the Murdals, but they aren't innocent. We shall see." And I believe this because I did watch the Murdaugh mystery. That was the craziest shit I've ever seen. I was like, "Yo, they are tripping." Like, what? This family, the dad, I'm glad the daddy's in jail, but like, damn, like that was crazy. Um, and I can just see that happening to Kardashians. And I think their skeletons are slowly going to be pulled out of the closet because I just don't see complete and utter innocence in anything. From the mom, most importantly, I think it's going to be her that gets the biggest plaster of just exposing what she has done. I mean, once it came out that her, Kim, Ray J contrived the whole sex tape, their credibility was just going down, down, down. You could have thought they was Jay Sean, or what is his name? Jay Sean. Down. You know, I remember that song. Even when the sky is falling down. You would have thought they was Jay Sean, the way how it was going down. Everything about them, to me, is going down because people have caught on. I was, like I said, I was getting my protein shake earlier, and the guy I was talking to, he was, we was talking about a whole bunch of stuff. I was like, where have you been all my life? Like, this was a 61-year-old gay white man, and we had a ball in our conversation this morning. And we talked about the Kardashians, and we talked about how there's so much influence that they have that has really caused the downfall of this generation. And when you think about it, I feel like the reason why the BBL, the lip filler, the like over focus on beauty, vanity, insecurity, I think if I had to pinpoint one reason why it's gotten so bad, I gotta give it to the Kardashians. And it's crazy because it's not just like they influence their own demographic, which would be like what, white women, but they've influenced every single demographic of women and even men. And I find that to be super duper scary because nobody in this world should have that much influence or say so. I mean, especially when you don't hold any type of respectable title. What type of title do they really have? They're TV personalities turned influencers. There's thousands of people like that. But for whatever reason, the Kardashians just so happened to hit it when it was hot and popping. They had a marketable look. But I think, like I said, their mom, Kris Jenner, has done so much behind the scenes to really push them and scheme. They lied about being billionaires. They lied about a sex tape. They told women to get up and work as if they asses didn't suck dick and fuck for fame. Like, let's just be real here. So, I mean, when I was talking about it with him, we was just kind of going over about how much influence they have had that has really ruined this generation. I mean, I can just blame it on social media, but social media was not like this prior to the Kardashians. I mean, I'm 25, like I always say, but I remember being on MySpace in like the 5th grade, and that era of MySpace, early Facebook, early Twitter, and I'll probably say anything pre 2014. Um, that era of social media didn't make people feel bad about themselves, didn't make people feel like they didn't work hard, they didn't have enough money. But when the Kardashians became really, really popular, which I think was around the time that Kim Kardashian started dating Kanye West, because he basically made their careers expedite. I mean, exponential growth just off of that association. Now we see what has happened. So I believe they are falling off. I think this is the end of the era for them. I think it was about time for them to fall off. I think if they try to, I guess, recuperate or maintain their relevance, it would have to be something drastic, and they're just completely irrelevant. I mean, the average woman, even if they do relate to the Kardashians, they don't want that pressure because think about how much our mental health has been affected by influences about how we look. Think about how much hyper focus is on materialism and things that actually can add to your depression or add to your inadequacy. Think about all of that and think about how much they've pushed that with the private jets and the mansions and the closets that are bigger than my whole apartment. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of stuff is now reading as, oh, you're just flexing. And nobody wants to feel as though somebody's just throwing something in their face that they can't afford. The Kardashians are just completely out of touch. And I actually will say that I think they had a good thing going for as long as they did. I mean, it was messy how they got here. It was very vindictive what they've done. What other SAT word can I use? Very polarizing to say the least, but they had a good thing going because I've been watching them from the beginning. But I feel like the biggest irony, the biggest karma, if you will, but the biggest irony of it all is that the influence that they've given society is the same influence that they're suffering from. Isn't that crazy? Then when you look at Kylie and I are the same exact age. Kylie's birthday is August. My birthday is July. I don't even think we're a month apart. I mean, maybe I don't look 25. I don't know. But Kylie definitely don't. You know what I'm saying? Kylie does not look like a 25-year-old woman. And the same influence that they put out with the Photoshop and the Facetune and the body augmentations and all of that never ever being admitted to is the same exact influence that they're suffering from. And because I would like to say people like me have kind of exposed the exact reason as to why and how this has affected people. People are just really turned off. I mean, at one point, people were gassing Kim. Like, I feel like back in maybe 2017, 18, when Kim Kardashian got posted on the Shade Room and the Shade Room was seen as a Black media page, people were gassing her like, yes, Kim, her kids are cute. They loved her marriage. She was goals. I feel like she also influenced a whole bunch of white women to have biracial kids. Like, that may be a stretch to say, but I do think that she did. I don't think there's as many biracial or interracial couplings and children. I think there's more because of them, basically. So I look back at it now and I say, I think they're just going to get their karma, and it's not going to be like a financial loss for their karma. I mean, they're good for life. It's not going to be something where nobody ever talks about them again. I mean, they're very relevant, but the karma is they're simply falling off and being affected by the same influence that they have pushed. And I feel like they should have known that it's just simply an era that they had, because there's no way people are going to stick with the same type of influence for years and years and years. I mean, they've tried. They tried to out of here. They tried to literally take off the BBL and go the thinner route now. I know that people say that they use what is it, dieting pills to make themselves skinny. Like, they've been doing all of these different things and people are catching on. This is why I say we need to keep these conversations going, because I feel like the transparency that commentators give, inside exclusive people give, even certain celebrities give, helps the general public not be too consumed with things that are meant to distract us. The Kardashians, politicians, any type of entertainers, in my opinion, are here to distract people and put everybody in like this factory mindset where you just walk here, you step here, you raise your right hand here, you stand like this, you go to work here, all of that stuff. I don't think, and if my stream starts, going crazy, it's probably because I'm talking about some real stuff, but I don't think the government, let alone any higher ups, want people to think. They don't want people to think. They want people to follow. They want people to get in line. They want people to be workers. And I'm sorry, but all of this has been a distraction. And I think a lot of internal workings with like the higher ups and the powers that be are simply getting kind of messed up because, like I said, people like me, but myself, other commentators, and just the average people. I mean, there's a lot of smart people that follow me. You guys always have a lot of very good things to say from your own research and your own observations. People are waking up and seeing that we've been entrapped mentally for like the past God knows how long. But in regards to social media and influence and body image and materialism and all of that, at least for the last decade, I mean, it's 2023. I would say about 2013. I mean, maybe a little bit after that, but 2013, I think I was in 10th grade, maybe 11th grade, 10th or 11th grade. And I still don't remember social media being as like making me feel bad about myself. I think around that, I would say 2016, 17 is when influencers to me really took off. Because that's when like relationship channels really started getting really popular on YouTube, just Twitter in general. YouTube even started to grow. And when YouTube grew, that gave the people that you just see on Instagram or Twitter, whatever, that had them transfer over to YouTube so you can hear their voice, see their face, see how they move, see how they talk, and it made it more personable. And then that's when people came really invested because now it's like, oh, I can relate to this person, I can see this person. And then you just continue the brainwashing. So I like people that can think for themselves. That's why I just like continue to talk about the things that I want to talk about because I feel like if we all just had a little bit more information to look at things deeply and then make a judgment and then make an action and then say how we can feel, then we would probably be better off as people. I don't feel that much insecurity of myself anymore because I think I'm a free thinker. But I think the Kardashians, to me, maybe they are industry plants. You know, I mean, their mom is probably just the mitochondria, the powerhouse behind everything. And then I feel like her daughters are simply just pimps. I mean, look at the way how they treat the daughters of the family versus the sons, even with the grandchildren like Kim, Kylie, Chloe, like all of their kids. I see their daughters more than I see their sons. And I feel like all they're going to do is transition into the point where, okay, their daughters are going to take over with the industry that they have built. However, they just better hope that there's an industry for people to give a damn about by the time their children are old enough to even be that influential. And as y'all can see with Kim Kardashian, when her and Northwest and Ice Spice did that meetup, I feel like that was Kim trying to introduce North as this influencer, this very trendy, relatable young kid. But unfortunately for Kim, bitch, you fucked up because that was so premature to the point where you got pushback. Your daughter's not even double digits in age, and she's doing things that are very provocative for a child, and you didn't think that you were going to get pushback. Like, come on, be what they say, be fucking for real. Be fucking for real. I think they're just obsessed with fame. I know there's a documentary on Netflix that talks about fame. I didn't watch it all the way, but I know I want to. um but I think that I don't even, my prediction would be that I don't think their kids are going to give the same appeal that they did. I think they're hopeful, but I think in most cases the kids are very innocent right now. They're cute because they're kids, you know, they're, most of them are toddlers or they are not even, like I said, double digits in age. I think the only teenager is Mason. Maybe, I don't even know if he's a teenager yet, but that's the only Kardashian, you know, offspring that is older to the point where, you know, he could possibly have more of an influence, but you see that he's Courtney's child. So, and Courtney doesn't really play into all of this as much as the rest of them. So I think he's a little bit more sheltered and reserved, even though he do be spilling some tea, I think sometimes. Like he was saying some stuff. So maybe he'll write a tell-all book eventually. But I think my personal opinion is, number one, they've fallen off, period. Number two, we're going to get some type of documentary of some sort that exposes them eventually. Mark my words. It might not be as bad as the Murdaugh thing because that had to deal with like way more heinous crimes. But something is going to come out, I believe, eventually, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, that just shows how much wrong they've done. I mean, there's commentators on YouTube that have entire 1 hour videos, 1.5 hour videos, a whole series dedicated to how they got their start and how they ended. And I think there's been a lot of commentary that says that the Kardashians have fallen off, it's over. And I agree because who cares about some, at this point, middle-aged white women who have appropriated cultures and have done everything in their possible power and ability to stay relevant, even when it's beyond their time. And I feel like they've had way too much negative press, which is why people are like, we're just over y'all because we keep getting negative press. From the Kim Kardashian Marilyn Monroe thing, Kim Kardashian Ice Spice and her daughter, Khloe Kardashian allegedly being back with Tristan Thompson, like for the umpteenth time. Kylie Jenner and the whole Selena Gomez thing, like being a mean girl, like bullying her. I mean, even Kourtney Kardashian was called out for, what was it? She tried to play middle class, but I think Kim tried to do that like 5 years ago. She tried to play middle class. She got called out for that. Kendall gets called out for being a mediocre model. My unpopular opinion is I don't think Kendall's a bad model. I don't think she's the best either, but I don't think she's that bad. But that's just me. You know, I'm a model director, so I can look at art and be like, okay, I like it. But they all have literally had so much bad press, so many things. Like, I don't even think they trend for anything positive anymore. And I think the Black media, who was a big push and them being receptive in the Black, community worldwide, has also kind of been like, we don't care about them, because I think Black women are getting this, spotlight at the moment where the look that we have naturally is popular. So because there's so many people that have called them out, like, why y'all got lip filler to look like us? Why did y'all get injections or BBL or whatever to have a bigger, more voluptuous booty that is more times than not prevalent with Black women? Why are y'all so associated to Black men? There's this clip on YouTube, if you search it, it's Khloe Kardashian, probably back in like 2012, maybe. And she was like, yeah, I like Black guys. I like just particularly like Black guys. And it's just like, I'm not mad that a white girl likes Black guys. I'll never be mad at that. But it's just like the fact that it's so prevalent with them, and they, in my opinion, the Kardashians are more pick me than I am. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like the irony of everything, long story short, is that their relevance and their influence is being affected. And it's literally because of the same stuff that they've pushed out: materialism, vanity, overt sexualism, consumerism, nepotism. I could go on and on and on. That is all affecting them. And hey, it is what it is. Y'all bitches should have done better. Okay. They should have done better, because if they would have just been genuine and tried to not get over on people. And I really blame their mom, because at the end of the day, granted, Kim, Khloe, Courtney were all grown women when they first got their start. But at the beginning of this, Kim was 27. Khloe was probably like 24, 25. So she got her introduction into this big life of fame at the age that I am now. And I feel like I'm just at the point where I still don't have life figured out. So I feel like they were still pretty young, but their mom knew better. And their mom raised this entire empire, and their mom, to me, is the reason why it's gone down. So that's all I have to say on them. I swear they should have done better. Y'all should have been just upfront and genuine. They did too much deflecting, and they were literally groomed from the beginning. They played, and people finally woke up, smelled the coffee, and said, you know what? No. And I think they're scrambling. Oh, and the last thing is, I heard that they were not invited to the Met Gala this year, which is crazy, because it's like, y'all have been invited to the Met Gala every year for like the past decade, and now you're not. And to me, that's a telltale sign that us as the general public, I mean, yeah, we can be over them, but if the industry is also over them, it's over. Because Anna Wintour, I mean, she's like the owner of what it is to be a fashion person in the industry, right? And if she didn't extend an invite to these women who claim to be so fashionable and fashion forward and so influential, that just simply means it's over. It's a snack wrap. Let me go and order one from McDonald's. Let me get a number one snack wrap with no cheese and some lettuce. It's a snack wrap for them. So I hope that they enjoyed their run. I think, honestly, the last thing I want to say to them is, because they've gotten away with so much for so long, and they have millions of dollars and maybe even billions, I think they should just enjoy the fact that they had their run. Like, how much more do y'all want? That's the obsession with fame that they have. I mean, pass along to your kids. Let your kids be a brand. I'm not even going to be mad at them, because I mean, your kids are famous. So let them have a career and be a brand when it's appropriate. But I think it's about time to just simmer down. Just simmer down. It's literally over. Like, just let it be. Everybody gave y'all praises, unfortunately, but unnecessary praises for the time that they did. So at this point, I think it's just like, y'all can just chill. Like, it's over with. Let me read some of what y'all saying. I don't even know if this mic is on. Hold on. Test, test, test. I don't know if the mic is on, whatever. Hopefully it sounds very clear and doesn't sound like my computer mic, but actually sounds like this mic. But yeah, let's see. What are y'all saying about this? Okay, y'all saying live and clear. Okay, just making sure, because this mic, it took me until the last video to get it absolutely right. But I definitely think, I mean, most of y'all are in the comments agreeing with me, and I think we're all on one accord as a general society. It's over. Someone said the Balenciaga thing was part of Kim's downfall too. Thank you, KK. Yeah, that And she didn't even denounce like how weird that whole entire situation was. She barely said anything. It's like, come on, sis. Like, you know that's wrong. I know you have like your whole contract with them. You have ambassadorship, I guess, or maybe you just, I think she was exclusively working with Balenciaga, but something that affects children in that way, there's just three demographics that you can't really fuck with: children, white women, and the gays. You can't fuck with that. So the fact that she didn't speak out against that whole entire thing, that was it. Then she did the Marilyn Monroe thing and she damaged an original dress, something that is a part of American history. She ruined it. You played yourself. You fluffed it. That's me and my sister used to say, you fluffed it up. We never used to say you effed it up because we get in trouble, but we say you fluffed it. You fluffed it. She fluffed it. She fluffed it up. And it's about time that they literally fall off. Sorry, but not sorry. That's all I have to say. Let me get some water and then we can transition to the next topic. Ooh, somebody said, is it true that Kim and North's TikTok got banned? I think so. I saw it on, well, let me just look it up while I have my phone in my hand. And don't make fun of me. Yes, I still got the iPhone X. I will not upgrade until it messes up. Everybody's on like 14, 15. And I'm sitting here with a phone from like 3-4 years ago. It still works, so it is what it is. So I think what Kim and North was their page. Let's see if it even comes up. Oh no, they're back up. They have 15 million followers. I'm not even sure if y'all can see, but they're back up. So maybe they were gone for a second, or someone said, girl, I still got the 8. See, you rocking with me. I still got the 10. But maybe they were gone for a little while, but they're definitely back up and popping. So, I mean, it could have been a publicity stunt at this point. I that's the thing. Their credibility has fallen off so much that it's like, y'all, nobody believes anything y'all do. It's almost like you have to force it. And if you have to force your influence and your relevance, come on now, it's over. Someone said they got that Nokia level. I know that's right. I'm Motorola flip. You feel me? Let's move on to our next topic. I think I had it out of order, but I wanted to talk about like just celebrities in general and why I feel like celebrity culture isn't like important, because essentially it kind of transitions from the Kardashians, but that's completely separate. But I wanted to talk about this because I've realized that social media is going on a downtick. And I think social media has been the glue that has kept celebrity culture bigger than what it probably was maybe in like the 2000s when some of us were younger. And I feel like celebrity culture really took a turn during the pandemic. And I think it's just directly because celebrities who had money and resources and all of that stuff were able to still maintain their lifestyle during the pandemic. And that was the most out of touch thing that a lot of them could have done, because when everybody's sitting here having to deal with COVID and wearing masks and getting laid off of their job and they can't go outside and family members are passing away, what else? You don't know where your next check is going to come from. You're trying to get on unemployment. It was just a crazy time for everybody. I think because celebrities were completely unaffected, they got called out a lot. But even that, forget the backlash. It was just simply the fact that people were able to see that there is a line between them and us, right? And I think because of that, people really started to wake up since 2020 up in, like I said, cascading into now 2023 to see that there's no way that we can be that invested in strangers who, if all of this goes to shit, they're going to be okay and we're not. And I think that's what the turning point was, because as you saw, just using the Kardashians again as example, they were still going on trips. They seemed to be very unbothered, unaffected, because they had the money and the resources. I mean, their houses are like museums. You know what I'm saying? You can do everything in your house. I'm pretty sure they have a game room, movie room, They're basically like living at the Playboy Mansion, which, by the way, I watched the Playboy Mansion documentary on Hulu this past week. I watched it every day I went to the gym. That was the craziest shit I've ever watched. I want to do a completely different video on that, but I'll come back to that. But if you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's on Hulu. It's free. Craziest shit I've ever seen in my life was that Hulu thing. I mean, the Playboy Mansion. But basically, these women, the whole family, Kardashians and other celebrities, were living literally unscathed by the pandemic while everybody else is sitting here suffering, you know? And I think that was the beginning of the end of celebrity culture as well as social media. People were turned off because at the end of the day, celebrities are like the 1%, right? And then there's everybody else, including myself. And we're the ones that be invested in their lifestyles, buy their products, keep them afloat. I don't buy much from celebrities. I don't even think there's anything I've ever bought from a celebrity product. Um, I don't think so. Or maybe I think when Jackie Aina, when she had her collaboration with Too Faced, I definitely went out and supported that. But she's more of a social media individual. But for the ones that's like entertainers, such as rappers, athletes, whatever, I don't think I've ever purchased anything from anything like that. But there's a lot of people that do. There's people that buy Skims, which you're finding that there's people that buy Good American, Chloe's brand. There's people that even buy like Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez and things like that. There's people that actually really go buy these celebrities' products. Now, I grew up without as much money and with parents who were very strict and only spent money on things that were necessary. So I don't think it's ever been instilled in me to go and buy a celebrity's thing like just because it's a celebrity I like. That hasn't been instilled in me. So when people do it, I'm not gonna lie, my initial thing is like, wow, you really went and bought that? I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I just think like it's crazy because I mean, if you're a celebrity, you can leverage yourself to the point where people will actually buy your products, and it is what it is. But like I was saying, people realized that there was a line where the 1% of celebrities are here, and the rest of us are here, and we're sitting here basically funding every reason that they're relevant and rich and have the houses and stuff that they do and the cars. And in the pandemic, when they were completely unscathed and everybody else is trying to figure out where their next money was going to come from, their next meal and everything, that was the beginning of the end. So you move forward a little bit and you see that now social media is taking a hit. This whole thing with the blue check marks on Instagram and people paying for that, mad weird, by the way. The whole thing with Twitter having the verification, paying for that, the algorithm being played with. Instagram announced that Reels and I guess Reels and videos, you can't make money from that anymore. All of that stuff started to take a hit. Now, that's a separate whole video. Maybe I can add that in. I did want to talk about that separately on my channel. But all of that with the pandemic turning into social media going on a downtick, turning into, I think we're at an era where a lot of people are using their brain and realizing that, look, we can't live through these people, as well as all of this shit is fake. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to say that we can't live through these people, let's do better. But to also determine that a lot of it is fake, a lot of it is orchestrated, edited, just completely contrived for our own entertainment. There's been too much transparency. And shout out to the commentators. I don't care. Shout out to all of us. Not necessarily the blogs, maybe the blogs, but really the commentators, because we are the ones that have been really edifying the general public, at least the people that want to listen and say like, okay, just from my sources or from my research or from my experience, this is what it really is when it comes to this stuff. And then you get people like, wow, Chioma, I never knew that until I watched your video about this. And that's how I used to be. That's why I even became a commentator, because I used to be so enamored by all this stuff, especially as a teenager and young adult. And then I started thinking about it a little bit deeper once I became a YouTuber. And I'm like, okay, well, you're kind of on the inside. I mean, you're not in the industry, but just to be a YouTuber at this, I guess, basic level of influence and celebrity. And I've done events, I've, met people, I've been in group chats, I've done these little tidbits just to know a little bit more information than the general public. And I start to realize all of these bitches is fake. Like, part of the reason why I'm not even a beauty commentator, like I said earlier, is because it does take a lot. But a lot of it is because a lot of it is too fake for me. And it's fake to the point where, of course, I don't want to be fake, but it's also fake to the point where it's detrimental. It's fake to the point where there's girls where I've done events with them or I've collaborated with them or just something. We follow each other and they told you that they were on a fitness journey, but I know they went and got lipo. You know what I'm saying? Like there's girls that they claim that they have this money or they have this relevance, this materialistic item, whatever it may be, but I know it's fake, or I know it's a lease, or I know it's not, you didn't buy a house, you rented. Like I know that stuff because it's like, yeah, girl, Chama, I'm gonna tell you what it really is. However, on social media, y'all are soaking it up as something that truly really isn't there. And that's why I kind of distance myself from, no, definitely somebody said not lipo, definitely lipo. Because lipo is something where I feel like it doesn't give off BBL. So people be doing the lipo. But literally, that's kind of why I've distanced myself from making friends with other not commentators. I love all the commentators, but other like influencers, especially in the beauty world. Because I feel like a lot of them are just, they got lost in the sauce. If you started your channel at a certain time, you got like a little boost if you started early enough, right? Because now at that time, it wasn't as saturated. Now that it's like everybody wants to be an influencer, everybody wants to make money from the internet, which to me is fine. Hell, join, I don't care. But now that we're at that point, it's like, okay, they're realizing that they have to work just as hard, or whatever they have said is not going to be met with the same type of instantaneous puppet response that people have. People are literally smart enough to know, like, hey, this is not real, or this is not what it is, or this person isn't who I think they are. Think about all the YouTubers or influencers, IG models that have been called out or exposed for whatever. I mean, all of these women probably have been doing all of the same things for years, but now you have pages on Instagram that literally report on what these women are doing, who they're hooking up with, how they're getting their money, whether their bags are real, all these different things. And now that the general public is knowing that, I feel like that's the reason why, another reason, amongst other things, as to why social media and celebrity culture has just kind of plummeted. I want to read some of the stuff that y'all are saying, because you guys are saying some really good stuff. I'm catching little glimpses. 94 Keisha Baby. Okay, 94. She said, also the creativity is gone too. It's gone. Too many copycats. Folks relying heavily on nostalgia, which is so true. Originality is out the door. And I feel like with that, I mean, it's hard for me even being a commentator, because even sometimes people be like, all right, Chama, we get the point. And you don't want nobody to be a baby mama. You're against overt sexualism. You don't like this. We get it. I know what I'm saying. And I get it, because I can notice the redundancy in my content to the point where I'm like, okay, so now you really got to think outside the box, because you've touched on almost every topic that you can. So you got to be creative. And it's hard because people are really at a point where they're just repeating what is, seen everywhere. So if you don't have a brand or some type of personality that really sets you apart, you're kind of getting whisked, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. It's hard for me to say S's. Y'all know I got a lisp. But you get whisked away as, oh, you're just a thing of the past. Think about how many beauty influencers have really fallen off, especially on YouTube. Like if you're on Instagram, it's like you can kind of maintain that a little bit more, because now you can change your likes to this person and others. And now all people can see is the fact that you have followers or you're verified. But on YouTube, you can't change your view count. People are going to see if you got 2 views, 2,000, 200,000. And I see that with a lot of the YouTubers over the years. Like I said, especially on the beauty side, they've fallen off because their content got unoriginal. It's a beauty influencer in particular who I still like her. I don't care. I still like her. I'm not going to say her name or nothing, but I still keep up with her content here and there. But I used to watch her a lot as a high school student because she really pushed the college, and I love her college vlog. I think that was the cream of the crop during that time. She gave everybody a great experience through that. But I was just looking at her channel the other day. I'm like, damn. Like, never would I have thought that eventually I could even catch up to you, because I used to watch you when I didn't even have a channel, let alone maybe even exceed you on the view count. And it's like, I know that for a lot of them, they just are doing it for the fact that they love to do it, or the fact that they just want to put their content out there. But when you look at the disparities and how people are engaging with their content, or even just enamored by who they are, it definitely has taken a downtake. And it has a lot to do with, like I said, being out of touch, Some of celebrities being unscathed when everybody else is dealing with a lot of stuff, originality being out the door, and just that transparency of it all. And I think that transparency is transparency is a good and bad thing, because obviously it's good because you want people to be informed in an authentic way. You want people to know like what they're viewing, what they're watching, what they're listening to, what they're consuming. But the bad side of it is that because people are so informed now, there's a lot of people that are going to be way more selective with where they put their coins, where what they actually pay attention to, what they're tuned into, who they're supporting. And I feel like now as an influencer or a celebrity, you damn near have to be like full package. You know what I'm saying? You damn near have to be like, have the personality, have the consistency, have something that stands out. Because when I was speaking to the guy today at the when I was getting my protein shake, he was like, so what, how do you stay relevant in a time where like everybody wants to be an influencer, which I think is a great question. And I was just telling him like, honestly, I think people tune into my channel because I'm just original, or they like my personality, and I've maintained that all this time. I have toned it down a little bit. I used to be a little bit way more harsh, y'all know, but I definitely turned it down a little bit. Just off the strength that I'm getting sponsorships now, to the point where like I have good sponsors. I don't want to piss anybody off too much, but literally, I know for a fact that all of that plays a role into why celebrity culture is going downhill. Now, do I think that celebrities are going to completely go out of style? Absolutely not, because I think it's human for everybody to have like some type of social class, status quo, or just tiers, I guess you can say, of different people in society, and who gets revered and who doesn't, who gets placed on a pedestal and who doesn't, who goes viral and who doesn't. I think that's just kind of natural for humans to be that way. But I do think that we are now in that shuffling of the next era. I know people are like over on TikTok, but even TikTok is going to be affected very soon. I don't know how serious they are about, banning TikTok, but I know all of that is going to be affected as well. So when I think about it, all in all, I don't really know what the future of it is, but I feel like if people aren't making the right, and by people I mean celebrities, influencers, public figures, YouTubers, commentators, y'all know what I'm talking about. But I feel like if people aren't making the right moves to stay relevant, or to like actually be authentic, and if people in this case, meaning the general public, the viewers, if they haven't looked through everybody and say, okay, we cutting her off, she's got to fall off, but we like this person. If you didn't make the cuts, you're kind of done, unless you already set up something for yourself. And I hope all of these ladies did, because there's a lot of people that used to be super popping back in the day, and I love their content, but they just aren't getting that much engagement anymore. And I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I just said why, but I don't know why they haven't been able to see that, you know what I'm saying, and fix it. I think honestly, the last thing I want to talk about with this is when it comes to at least the YouTubers, because I mean, that's my main thing. I most definitely know that more than anything. I think when it comes to the YouTubers, I think a lot of them got good money real fast, and they were able to say like, oh, I'm making so much more money than the average people around me, so now I think I'm in a higher class. Or even if it's not in a snooty way, but like, it just is what it is. I'm a little bit above, at least financially, the average person, because I'm getting $2,000 for this sponsorship. I'm getting $5,000 for this sponsorship. You feel me? You could run up 7 bands in a sponsorship in 1 month. That's more than what the average person is making. So I feel like once they started making that money consistently, they started acting like celebrities, when in reality, let's be real, a YouTuber is not really a celebrity unless you get to like really, really big level. Like, I mean, I guess like a Jake Paul, Logan Paul, I guess you can consider them. But like once you get to those levels, like maybe you're a celebrity, but at the end of the day, your ties or your ancestry to your influence is YouTube. And YouTube is not a conventional way of being a celebrity. I mean, you can get a big following on here, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, you're still kind of like a YouTuber. And so I feel like once people started popping off on like, yeah, I got this jewelry, I got this purse, I'm able to afford the same things that the celebrities have. And let's be real, the general public started equating these people to celebrity. I think that's exactly why some of them kind of lost touch. And then now that people are waking up, their engagement has suffered from that. And you can't really recuperate the engagement unless you come and do something completely new. But you would have to hope that your audience wants to even pay attention. Like if I sat up here and just didn't do YouTube for the next like 2 months, and then I came back and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing commentary anymore. I'm going to be doing, I don't know, I'm going to read children's books in every video or something. Some of y'all may stay. Some of y'all may be like, you know, Chioma, hasta la vista. It was nice knowing you. But yeah, I'm done. And I think because a lot of those influencers and YouTubers started to think that they were celebrity status, people looked at them in that scope until they realized, okay, no, these are definitely not celebrities, let alone these are average, everyday people who got big on social media, which is fine. I'm not hating. I mean, look at me. And when they became a little bit too full of themselves, this is the result. That's why you got to stay humble. I mean, come on now. Like, it is what it is. Let me read some of y'all's comments on this as well, because y'all definitely, like I said, saying some hot shit in here, and I want to make sure I'm hitting y'all. I scroll back up. Somebody said, 40 Shorty, thank you again. She said, or different sounds, looks, music, fashion, etc. Be original. Be original. I was a cheerleader too, Chioma, and we never got the school credit due, period. Exactly. There's just no originality. Everybody wants to be a luxury, soft life individual. Fuck is a soft life. Like when people, I'm talking, yo, like people keep talking about eras and shit, soft girl era, I don't know, financial girl era, I'm outside era. I'm just like, y'all just be saying shit that y'all see on Twitter and really be following it and think that you're like posh. You think that you're like stunting. And I'm like, I'm not even hating. I'm just saying like, everybody's a follower, even the people that are setting the trends. They got it from somewhere. There's not that much originality. Like pretty pink pulsing, piping hot, punishing, put it on a pedestal, pussy. That is originality. Nobody has ever said that except for me. You know what I'm saying? That is considered originality. Granted, that's just some random ass shit I made up just doing YouTube, and I kept adding on to it. It started off as an inside joke. I probably should never even said it on YouTube, but hey, it's stuck. Stuff like that will keep somebody coming to your channel because you have these little nuances about you that people find entertaining or relatable or whatever. But if I'm sitting up here and it's every day, oh, guys, this is my Gucci purse, and, you know, this is my Chanel No. 5 perfume, and this is my $1,000 setting spray. You know what I'm saying? If I'm sitting here and that's all I can give you, you can watch 80,000 channels, literally, that are telling you the same exact thing. And I think that people are just tired of it. And the whole idea of an influencer got way too saturated so fast, and it just completely went out the window. So let me read some more comments. Dom said, originality is literally dead. Every time a celeb does something original, they're dragged through the mud, but yet the same people keep complaining about seeing the same stuff. Facts. Facts. Someone said, do you think it has a lot to do? I said someone. I'm going to be reading y'all names now. Oprah's bank account and period. Definitely pray to have her money. But do you think it has a lot to do with short attention spans and the need to overshare in a short time frame? Most definitely I do, because I think that of course our attention spans have definitely diminished over the years. And I think that with that, people want to be satisfied in a fast, like you said, short time frame. And if you can't do it, you're on to the next. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised that even for like female rappers, I'm surprised some of them are as relevant as they are or have maintained that relevance, because I feel like people move on so fast. I mean, our last female rapper to like kind of blow up and become mainstream over the last year, I think we had like 3, which was Ice Spice, Glorilla, and Lola Brooke. They just went dumb. You feel me? This summer it's going to be the next 3 girls up. Hopefully it's Queen Chioma though, but this summer is going to be the next 3 girls up. And we're going to see if those other 3 ladies will stay as relevant, which I think, you know, they will. I think Ice Spice most definitely. But you're going to see if they can stay relevant, because the attention span and the need to be gratified is just so rapid. So yeah, I definitely think so. KK said, we are consuming way too much as a society. There are 100 different types of soft life eras, clean girl era, everybody trying to fit into every aesthetic. Definitely. This whole era conversation, I'm like, when the hell did we start doing that? Like, as much as I'm on social media and I post every day, I don't get on social media and pay super close attention to what the trends are. I find out what the topics are, I get a narrative, I form my opinion, I make my video, I get off. That's where I'm at now because I'm trying to transition to my wife girl era. Can I do that? I'm trying to be my wife era. I'm at that point in my life where I'm just like moving on. Someone said, can you please leave this live up for us latecomers to catch the playback? Yes, Valerie, it will definitely stay up. Someone said social media killed a lot of things off, most definitely. In 000300, you said 000300 said, I think we're having a reset. I think so too. And it sounds scary to say, excuse me, it sounds scary to say reset, but I don't think it's necessarily like, oh, the world is shutting off and we're restarting. It's just more or less like we're shifting. That's what the reset technically means. So I definitely agree. Someone said, I blame these short time reels and TikTok videos. It honestly derived from Vine. Yes. That's the platform that pioneered it. Yeah. And it's like they could have just brought back Vine for all of that. I mean, reels, TikToks, all of that is just an extension of Vine. I don't know why Vine didn't maintain itself, but Vine wasn't an American platform. Vine was like, I want to say it was Chinese. I could be wrong. But Vine wasn't an American platform. So when it was pulled from the App Store back in, I think, 2014, 15, around that time, I think it was 16 maybe. When it was pulled, it was like, okay, well, we just went without it. But then you see now that TikTok, Instagram Reels, even YouTube Shorts, like what the hell is that? I've never even done a short because I think it looks ugly on my channel. I don't like the format. But that type of stuff definitely has lowered attention spans because now people want to see what they need to see to the point where nobody's going to sit down and watch a 20-minute YouTube video of a makeup tutorial. Nobody cares. Like no one wants to watch a 30-minute hair tutorial like we used to back in the day. I used to get back from school, come back from cheer practice, go up to my room, get my homework out. I ain't had no TV in my room now, but get on my phone and literally play a YouTube video that was 20 minutes long, 30 minutes long, and just watch the entire thing. People don't do that anymore. What else do we have? 94 Keisha, she's speaking today. She said the younger kids will still be acknowledging them, but a lot of us don't care because a lot of it isn't real. I think the younger kids are getting a little bit smarter, though. I think they are understanding that, yes, we're kids, so they're going to get their instant gratification and they're going to be so enamored by all these different things. However, they have a lot more resources to know and be transparent about, what is real and what is not. There's people that literally watch me. There's teenagers. I have a group of teenagers. I know I have a demographic of teenagers because I see it in my analytics of the kids that are 13 to 17, and they watch me and they, write me sometimes. They're like, yeah, I'm a 14 years old or whatever, and I like your content and I'm more aligned with the things that you say versus what kids my age are saying, because a lot of them are being able to wake up and see like, look, we probably shouldn't be following all of this. Now, I do think a lot of teens are being groomed by the entire society, which is when I did that video about how teen demographic is kind of done. There's no such thing as that these days. That's why I made that video. And just a side note, I find it very interesting that video talked very well about, like I said, the teen demographic, not having role models, not having like an actual like stores for them, not having TV shows, singers, music groups. That video didn't perform that well. And I thought it was because I feel like that was such a good topic to talk about because it's very important. And there's sometimes people comment like, do you ever talk about anything positive? And it's like, but I try and people don't click on it. So let me just, continue to be Miss Messy, I guess. I don't think I'm messy, but let me continue to be Miss Messy because the stuff that I'm like, let's talk about this. Let's talk about these young teenagers, these kids, the things that actually matter that we should be discussing. Let's talk about it. People don't engage. So, hey, people do a lot of talking and complaining. But 000300 said, I also think we're moving into subscription-based services. We already have for film, music, TV. I won't be surprised if YouTube becomes subscription. Most definitely. And I was talking to one of my friends yesterday about this, and because he plays in the NFL. He's in town because, like I said, I went to my school's football game. They had like their spring game, so a lot of the alumni was there, and I worked for the team, so I went. And we were talking about this because he has a side business, like he takes his NFL money and not all of it, I'm assuming, but and he invests it into a side business. And I was just telling him like the reason why maybe you feel like your engagement isn't going up on your business page or whatever is probably because Instagram and YouTube and Twitter are kind of going to a point where I think they're going to be subscription based, where you have to pay $2.99 a month to use it or whatever. And he was also telling me that being, he's a NFL player, so he's verified on Instagram and Twitter. But he showed me that I think somebody from his team sent him a text message basically saying that like, hey, Twitter is now removing verifications for people that were already verified, and they want you to rebuy it. Even if you were already verified before the whole buy a blue check thing was popping, they want you to rebuy it. And he was saying like, he got verified when he got drafted to the NFL. So clearly he got the verification and through Twitter, Instagram, all his social medias. And I think they took away his blue check on Twitter. And he was like, I don't care about Twitter, so I'm not going to, pay for that. But they want you to pay for that now. So I think you're right about saying that, YouTube and other social medias are going to be more subscription based. It's definitely very weird these days. Someone said melanated thinker. Oh, I like that. I like that. That's different. I like that. There's definitely a cultural reset, and part of how I'm noticing this because the Kardashians ain't seen the way they used to be, and a Wintour cut them off of the invite list. The it girls aren't it no more. Period. Yeah, the last sentence. The it girls just ain't it. You feel me? There's people that be like, "Oh, Chioma, you want to be these girls? You want to?" I'm like, for what though? Their lives, the only thing they probably have on me is money, like dead ass. That's probably the only thing they really have on me. They have money and they have connections. It's not like I can't come into money, and it's not that I can't come into connections. So what exactly would I really want to be? Because the it girls ain't even it like that anymore. And I feel like everybody had their reign. I don't think social media is going to completely fall off, but I think it's just going to be something that people really just put off to the side. It won't be this big focus like it has been. Let me get some more water because I'm realizing my throat keeps jumping, like hiccuping. Somebody said, Thailand Jewel, off topic, but girl, you're so gorgeous. Like, face is top tier for real. LOL. Thank you so much, sis. I had to come on here and give y'all a little bit of face today. I've done a lot to clear up my face, which was my biggest insecurity for the longest. Let me show y'all this picture, actually. Where's my favorites? Oh, I wish I had something a little bit more recent. But this picture was my face. Yes, ma'am, it was. This was around the pandemic. During the pandemic, I went through a very bad breakup. I was so stressed. This was my face. Then I started getting microneedling. This was after the third session of microneedling, so it definitely cleared up. And then when was this? This was maybe about a year ago. That was me. And then you guys can see me now. Granted, yes, I do have foundation on, but my skin is very, very nice right now. I did the microneedling, but I've been using like turmeric soap religiously. To me, I think that's just what works for my skin. I'm not sure about everybody else, but okay, boom. This was me. Is it gonna load? This was me like last week, if not a few weeks ago. So clearly those are my moles, so it's me. But yeah, thank you for the compliment. But I was just giving y'all a little tip on skincare because that was like my biggest insecurity for the longest. So let me read a few more and get to our little last topic. Trey Prentice said, Queen Chioma, you are my favorite person and YouTuber, and I love you so much, and I'm a supporter of you. I'm 20, going to be 21 in January, and I've been watching your videos for a long time. Thank you so much, Trey. I appreciate that. I'm assuming you're a guy, so I appreciate the guys who watch my channel too. Let's see. What's up, Philly sis? What's up, the Black intellectual? What's up? What's up? I gotta get back to Philly, definitely. I might just go see my sister or something because I stay away from Philly these days. But my friends, I was on the phone with my friend from high school yesterday for like 2 hours, and she was like, girl, we need to do a reunion. I'm like, you're right. I definitely need to come out. Someone says South Africa is here. Shout outs. Okay. I'll be going hard for South Africa. You want to know why? Because I feel like South African history is so similar to, and I'm saying this not in a direct way, but Black American history in regards to like just the race aspect of being what's the word I'm even looking for? Being suppressed by race. There's a whole thing with the apartheid, that whole history of it. And I feel like people don't remember that blackness that exists in South Africa also has a history behind it that isn't that pretty, similar to, America. So I'd be going hard for South Africa because I feel like the history is so important for people to know. And they don't even teach you that in American school. I don't even remember learning even that much about Nelson Mandela. I learned most of that just by my own research. So yeah. Someone said oily skin. I definitely have oily skin. Let me give you all a tip. There's this, mine's a little dirty, but this little $15, this is by Revlon. I think I said this in my last live stream. It's on Amazon. It is a Revlon oil roller thing. This clears the oil. Let me see if I can do a little tutorial. I don't know. I'm not that oily right now. I don't know if you could see that, but the oil literally goes away with this. I don't know what it is. I don't know if y'all could see that, but let me try right here. So, probably can't really tell with the lighting, but this is a lifesaver. I got my little oil blotting sheets. I keep everything on deck with the oily skin, but this, best $15 I've spent. Revlon. It's by Revlon. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a little rock. Roll it, takes the oil right off your skin. You probably can see it compared to this side, but this is the tip I'm gonna give y'all for sure. Let's see. Someone said, what time is it now in my country? It's like 9:30. Let me transition into our last topic, and then we can end off with some more, personal questions and stuff. Actually, hold on, I just got a quick little question. Someone says, what turmeric soap do you use? I went to Nigeria and I went to this not esthetician, dermatologist. I use her brand. My dad just traveled to Nigeria actually yesterday. You know what? My dad didn't even call me yet. He be gone, but he just traveled. He's gonna bring me back some more. And then I can possibly share it with you guys. I don't know how available it'll be outside of Nigeria though, but that's the brand I've been using. I know I've seen on Instagram. I've never used this brand before, but my sister had sent it to me like yesterday. It was another brand of turmeric soap. What is all of this on Instagram? Why am I getting hella engagement? Who are these people? Okay, I just had to check. It'd be so random. But I know that there was a soap that literally, okay, so this kojic acid, it says skin lightening. I'm not sure. You have to do your own research, but this is kind of what my soap looked like. And I also had like a turmeric cream that she made me. I literally just take a swab, put it on all my dark marks, and it was just fading. And it worked fast. Like I did it consistently for like not even a month, and I'm telling you, it was a miracle. Everything was organic. So I'm trying to do like a business deal with her. I don't know. Maybe just to see like if I can kind of be a retailer in the United States, because her products are good. But somebody asked, will this ruin your makeup? Nope. I have on makeup right now and it doesn't do anything. If anything, it's probably better with the makeup to make the makeup look, even better. But somebody said, what was the soap? Was the soap for brightening scars? Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about this kojic acid turmeric soap. I've never used it. But I'm just saying that's kind of what like my soap looks like. Oh, I'm like, what happened to it? I just had it. This TikTok kojic acid, I think that's the brand. So if y'all just want to try that, if you're trying to fade dark marks, turmeric is definitely the way to go. And you can make a turmeric paste yourself at home, like a mask and stuff. Let me transition into the last topic. I wanted to talk about hating ass moms. My mom is not a hater. My mom has never hated on me. Someone said bombastic side eye. Oh shit. Who did I just call on Instagram? Okay, my sister. Thank God. I thought I was calling somebody else. Let me tell her accident. Whew, I was like, who did I just call by accident? But yeah, it's actually funny.
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye. Bombastic
It
side
kind of
eye.
just shows you a
Criminal
whole bunch of
offensive
different products
side
to
eye.
fade dark marks.
Bombastic side
Um,
eye. Criminal
I can try to share the link later. This is a TikTok. I don't know whose TikTok it is. Actually, no, it's a reel on Instagram.
side eye.
The user is, let me show y'all the user. This is her. So if y'all want to screenshot, if you're on your phone real quick, I don't know if it's backwards for y'all, but that's the video that I saw. So I know turmeric has definitely been a good product, but that is it right there. Someone said, please don't use turmeric from the grocery store. Get the one for cosmetics. Yeah, I definitely agree. So yeah, the last topic I wanted to touch on was hating ass mothers. My mom, like I said, is not a hater. She's never hated on me, but I've seen so many people tell me that their mom is jealous of them, hated on them, projected insecurities on them, made them feel less of a woman. And I'm not going to say it's like super, super prevalent. But it's definitely a thing, and I've seen it. And I think this whole thing with Black China, who is now going by Angela White, and her mother, Tokyo Tony, I personally feel like that is what is happening here, but it's always been happening. So if you guys don't know, Black China has been getting a lot of media press because she's been altering her body, removing her fillers, downsizing her implants, turning her life over to God. She got baptized. She stopped doing OnlyFans. Y'all know I did a video on this like last week. And I know that sparked a lot of people that actually were in favor of her. And I think her mom, honestly, obviously, is jealous. But I think more than that, I think when Black China was getting all this bad press over the years, her mom was in her corner. You know, their relationship had gotten kind of, mended a little at one point. Even as far as her mom having her own show on Zeus, Black China had a show on Zeus first, and then Tokyo Tony also had a dating show on Zeus. So I feel like during that time where Black China was still trying to rebuild her reputation again, her mom was kind of in her corner because, I mean, she was looked at as beneath. But once her daughter, Black China, started getting all of this praise for basically turning her life around, I've noticed that positive push that positive perception and reception that people have been giving her mom has been really going out the woodworks with, coming out the woodworks with the hate. And I find this to be very interesting because it's not something I've experienced, so I can't speak from personal experience. But one of my closest cousins, her mom is like this. And I think in every demographic of Black culture, there's that hating ass mom. It can be in Black American culture, clearly in Nigerian culture for sure, Jamaican, Caribbean, everywhere. You're gonna have the aunties that hate on you. So y'all know, it's always those older group of aunties who hate, right? That's what Tokyo Tony is to me. When I know that I growing up, it was always that group of aunties that just talk so much shit, especially in Nigerian culture. They love to talk shit. Probably why I talk shit, right? So that older group of aunties or moms, and they talk about their daughters. Every little thing is like, oh, look at your stomach, look at your breast, look at your hair. Why didn't you do this? Getting cussed out, getting demeaned, getting talked down upon. And I noticed that there's a lot of Black mothers who want to live vicariously through their daughters. And because it's, past their time and past their prime, they most definitely be hating. And I find that to be so interesting because now that I look at Tokyo Tony and Black China, and I also look at like my cousin and her situation, because my cousin literally had to move out of her house and all of this stuff just to escape that hellhole. When I look at it now, I realize that I think what really happens is that the mothers, like I said, are living vicariously through the daughters, but the mothers have so much trauma that they've never dealt with. And I think the daughters are a reminder to that mother of what they could have been, what they should have done, what they could have avoided, a reminder of their choices, a smack in the face to show you, poor decisions and the result from this, something about it. Like, I don't necessarily know. Like I said, I can't speak from experience, but when I look at it now, it seems to be like once you get to a certain age, and a lot of this is really like grooming, if you're thinking about it, like you're almost being groomed by your mother to hate yourself because your mother, and it, this can really only happen between obviously mothers and daughters, but the mother in a certain case is jealous of the fact that the daughter has some type of attention, a certain type of look, certain type of relevance, um, maybe even money, maybe even a healthy relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like my cousin is in a relationship with a boy. He pays the rent. He does all these great things. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like her mom is jealous of that because she's the one that pulls most of that, work into the household for him and her husband. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know for a fact, I'm just speculating, but I think that's what it is. And I think somebody just said black moms be the first bully. Yes. Yes. And I never really noticed how much this affects people, because it does, and, my mom wasn't like that to me. Like, granted, yes, there was a point in time where it was like, you don't like your mom. Everybody goes through that whole entire thing. But to see it done in an adult example is scary to me because I personally feel as though your mom ends up being a very, very close friend, one of the people that's in your corner at a certain point in your life. And that usually happens when you're like in your early to mid 20s, when you start to realize, okay, mommy was right, or my mom taught me better, or my mom is going to be in my corner. My mom isn't as judgmental. I feel like my mom used to, I guess you could say, judge me as a teenager for some of my choices because I mean, that's what moms and daughters do. But now that I'm like in my mid 20s, I call my mom multiple times a day, like, hey, last night I called her, hey, how do I cook this shrimp on the stove top? Or, hey, do you think I should wear this to my event? Or how do you think I should do it? You know what I'm saying? I would assume that that's exactly what it's supposed to be. But I've noticed a lot in the Black community with Tokyo Tony in particular. And when I see like, what she's going in. She's going in on her own child. And I guess kudos to Black China for being like, okay, I'm not going to give it that much energy. My mom is just dealing with her own thing. I've turned over a new leaf. I guess kudos to her for taking the high road. But when you really think about it, I'm sitting here like, yo, why is this such a thing in the Black culture? Like, why does this happen? So I want y'all to kind of sound off in the comments so I can kind of understand more, because like I said, I can't speak from experience, but the jealousy that some Black mothers have for their daughters is very, very crazy. And of course somebody's going to be offended when I say this, but I see it a lot with the mothers that are single mothers of daughters, because for whatever reason they feel like the daughter is a reminder of what they could have been. Maybe the daughter looks like the man who left them or played them, or who didn't step up to the plate to be a father. Maybe the daughter is a reminder that at some point their life was on the up, but they had to plateau or even take a down tick because they had to give up whatever and become a mom. Maybe that's it. But I find it to be very, very weird that a mother would be jealous of their daughter, especially when that is your child. But it's very, very real. So let me see what some people are saying in here. Someone said Tokyo's jealous of her. Yeah, for sure. Someone also said, I'm going through this with my Nigerian mom. Yeah, and I've seen it like a lot in Nigerian culture too. And I'm like, why are you talking shit about your own child? You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, look at you. You want to wear this. You want to go and get attention from men. My friend, go and put on some clothes. And I'm like, ma'am, she has on a regular dress like the rest of us, but you're mad she's going to get attention. It's one thing to just say, hey, let me caution you. Maybe it is a little bit risque, or warn her about the type of attention she may draw. But it's just the way how it's done in Black culture. It comes off way too demeaning versus it being some type of education for your daughter or some type of transparency. I used to, when I was a teenager, when I thought about being a mom, I always said like, oh, I just want a boy first. I want a boy first because I have an older brother. My older brother is like, like a protector, type of thing. So I wanted to have a boy first. I was always hesitant on like, should I have a girl? What happens if I have a girl? And I realized that a lot of us are ingrained to think that way because there's this thing with mothers and daughters in the Black community. Now that I've gone through a lot of life, like been through a lot of shit. Can't wait for my book to come out. Still don't have a date. still finishing up and adding things here and there. But Now that I've gone through a lot and I've realized that, like, if I would have just had somebody in my corner to tell me this, or, put me on game here, or give me this opportunity, or mentor me, or whatever, if I would have had something like that, I wouldn't have made certain mistakes, right? And especially when you're like Nigerian, it's like there's a complete disconnect from your parents until you finish college, in my opinion. Like, you can't even joke and be like kind of lax with your parents until a certain amount of time. And that hindered me a lot with my choices, because it's like I'm hiding stuff from my parents, I'm lying, I'm sneaking out, I'm doing things with boys I'm not supposed to be doing, because I don't have anybody that's telling me don't do this. Because just the near thought of being with a boy or having a social life as a Nigerian teenager is like completely not a thing, so you don't even bring it up. So I know for a fact that when the time I got older and I experienced these things, and I'm like, okay, if you would have had, a mom that took a different approach, or just some type of mentor, you probably wouldn't have made these mistakes. And so now I'm like, I really want to have a daughter, to the point where I'll be happy if I just had one daughter. I'm like changed completely. Like, I want to have a daughter because I see what social media is, I see what life is, I see what society is, and I'm a young person, and I want to be able to edify my daughter and put her on game and say, look, this is how you're supposed to carry yourself. This is supposed to how you're supposed to deal with guys. This is what you're not supposed to tolerate. This is what you're supposed to strive for. This is the type of class you're supposed to maintain. I want to be able to do that, because what better person than me, the mama? You know what I'm saying? But I realized in Black culture a lot, there's this, I guess you could say, despise of mothers and daughters, and the relationship is so strained in so many different households. And I think that literally alludes to why a lot of young Black women make the choices that they do. We always want to blame it on daddy issues, which I think is very much a thing and very prevalent. But I also think it's like, when the daddy issues are already there, let's just say the father is out the household, and that is very much prevalent in a lot of cases. The double whammy to it all is when your mother is also your biggest bully, or a hater, or somebody who is against you. There's already no father in the house to balance out, the dynamics. But then you have a mother who is vindictive. I mean, think about the movie Precious. To me, that was a complete depiction of a lot of households that are very much fed off of a jealous mother. Precious was, I don't know if I could say this word on live, but Precious was sexually assaulted by her own dad. She had what, two kids by the daddy. Not only that, but she was what, positive. I think, was she AIDS positive, HIV positive, or she had AIDS? I can't remember which one. I saw that so long ago. She had all of these things stacked against her, but except for her mom to be the one to say, "Oh my God, my daughter was assaulted by my own man," she shamed her for it. She bullied her. She, basically made her feel so low of herself. And I feel like that Precious to, I mean, what was the mama's name in the movie? I can't remember. Monique. Monique and Precious situation is a complete depiction of something like a Tokyo Tony and Angela White. That's what I'm seeing now. Like, mothers be having like this whole, I hate to say it, but almost seem to be in love with their sons but hate their daughters in the Black community. And I feel like that is so weird. And I just want us young people, and I know there's different demographics of ages and, locations in the chat right now, but I want this generation, specifically Gen Z, to be the generation that helps, I guess, what is it, Generation Alpha is the people under us, helps the transition of toxicity within family structure go down. Because I think that could eradicate a lot of, generational curses right then and there. I talked in my last video yesterday that I posted about marriage, about how like the cycle of single motherhood is usually happens more prevalently with mothers who did it, and now your child's doing it, and maybe their child's doing it, and maybe your mother did it, you know what I'm saying, and so forth. And sorry, y'all, I'm getting a little mucusy, but I know for a fact that that repetition, that cycle stays prevalent, because there's a lot of toxic culture that is placed in the relationship dynamics between a Black mother and her Black daughter. It's so crazy to me, because why? That is so counterproductive, in my opinion. And on top of that, it's also really sad and unfortunate because there's a lot of young girls who, like I said, they don't even have a dad in the home, but then you're also having a mother who yells at you, who cusses you out, who speaks so negatively of you so often, and you're sitting here wondering why your daughter then ends up making the same mistakes you did. You didn't teach her shit. You didn't tell her to do better. You didn't make her feel beautiful. Black girls are already at the, I mean, we're not technically, but I guess socially at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to our appreciation, our looks, our respect, our abilities. We're at the bottom. And instead for us to have a group of women, which are usually our mothers, our aunties, our grandmothers, to teach us better, to tell us better, to make us do better, we're repeating these same cycles. I had a model on my team. And let me drink some more water again. But I had a model on my team and we were practicing for like a performance that we did last year. It was this time last year. And I remember she was, staying at practice and we kind of I kept them after practice a little bit late. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna stay, but I do have to go because my mom do be tripping. And I'm like, okay, okay. So we kept going. I kind of lost track of time. And then she was like, Chama, I have to leave. My mom really does tripping. She's mean. So the other girls were like, what do you mean she's mean? She's like, she's mean to me. And I'm like, okay, well, see you next week, sis, because we practice weekly. And so I ended up getting a chance to meet her mom. Her mom like always came to the events and stuff, but I could kind of get the vibe of what she meant by that. And that model, she's a beautiful girl. She has beautiful kids, but it's like the repeated cycle is there. And I don't really know the insights of their family dynamic, but I see this specific model that I have. I see how good of a mother she is with her daughter. She has 3 kids, but two young daughters, and I see how much of a support system she is. How much, and she's a single mother with 3 kids and she's under 30. I don't know how she does it, but kudos to her. But I see how much she is always in her kids' life. She puts her kids first. She uplifts her daughters. She's a hairstylist, so she does their hair. And I've always noticed that about her. And I'm just like, damn, like, thank you for breaking that cycle. Because for you to confide in me and say, like, my mom's mean, she's mean to me, but I don't see her doing that to her daughters. I'm like, congratulations, honestly, because you're breaking a cycle, because you could very well be just like how what was done to you, which could be a part of the reason why you are in the situation that you're in, could be not. But I just see it as a repetitive thing that I see prominently in Black communities with mothers and daughters. And I feel like with Tokyo Toni, she is reeking of jealousy. She's reeking of insecurity. She's reeking of uncertainty. I think she's also reeking of regret. I think she regrets the fact that she had to stop her life, have Black China. And I know when Black China had her show, Tokyo Toni was like baby mama number God knows what. Like her dad has hella other kids. So she was probably just, no offense to her, but just another number. And I think because she had to live with that and do what she had to do to feed herself and her child, and eventually her child ends up being this celebrity, she feels as though Black China owes her something. But I'm sorry, there's not a child in the world that owes their parents shit. You don't owe your parents shit. We didn't ask to be here. So I don't know. I just started literally seeing how jealous and bitter and insecure Tokyo Toni has been, because she's been going on a rampage. And like, I was hesitant to even report on it because I just didn't even want to put that energy there, because I was watching the videos. I'm like, yo, you're tripping, ma. Like, what are you on? And you can't blame your daughter for the fact that she had her successes. She made her mistakes. And let's be real, her mistakes are probably because of you. Black China was a dancer, stripper. Tokyo Toni was a dancer and a stripper. Why do you think Black China thought it was okay to start shaking her ass? Probably because you did it. Like, let's be real. So I think it's the lack of accountability. And then that turns into regret, bitterness, jealousy, and it gets basically executed in a form of bullying, in a form of taunting. And that's just having that lack of support and that lack of mothering that a lot of young women, especially young Black women, need. Because like I always say, we're at the bottom of the totem pole. We're like quadruple whammy. Like I said, in America, at least, and I'm pretty sure pretty much everywhere. But if you're a woman, you're already taking points off. If you're a Black woman, take even more points off. If you're a brown skin or dark skin woman, you're taking even more points off. If you're an immigrant and you have all those things, take even more points off. And somebody said today, if you're all of those things, maybe not number 4, but all of those things, and then you're also, part of LGBTQ plus, you're even taking even more points off because you're considered unconventional. So when you have all these odds stacked against you, how dare your mother be the person that is further adding to your insecurity and to your self-esteem being low? A lot of it, like I remember being at my cousin's house, like I said, her mom is nutty. When we were kids, her mom used to just cuss her out, call her stupid, comment on her weight, telling her that she'll never get a man, just all of these different things. And I'm just like, what type of mother says that stuff? And then you're saying that while your nieces are around, like, huh? It's just like it's giving evil stepmother, Cinderella evil stepmother type of vibes. And I just think in my head, like when I see these examples, like Tokyo Tony, like I said, in Black China, or Angela White, when I see these examples now, I realize that that is just a public depiction of what is probably so prevalent in so many different households. And I see it a lot with, of course, Black American, but when I look at the, ethnic groups such as Nigerian or any type of African, Caribbean, it's really, really hardcore because in an African culture or even Caribbean culture, I'll be real, a lot of it is way stricter than what is here in Black America. A lot of it is so much stricter from the way how you portray yourself, maybe certain religious aspects to it. Family structure, your lineage, your family name, you got to take into account all of those things. And a lot of it gets a lot stricter to the point where you can't even like a boy, you feel me, without you being called, ungodly names, and you're being called these things as a child. It's one thing to say this to your grown daughter who has her own mind for herself, but to project that onto a child, hell no. And I think that Tokyo Tony and Angela White, I feel like that has been happening long before she ever became famous. I think it didn't just start with Black China becoming Black China and then, oh, now she's Angela White and she's doing good or she's getting, a positive reception with her changes. That had to be something that was really indoctrinated with her within her lifetime, through her childhood with her mother and that whole entire dynamic. And if anything, like I said, a child doesn't owe their parents shit. However, I feel like the fact that Black China has tried to do for her mom and her mom hasn't necessarily been positively receptive, I think her mom has her own internal issues that she needs to work on and her own, trauma that she needs to face and conquer, her own insecurities that she needs to get help with, and all of that. And I even feel like for the show that she did on Zeus, I don't think I ever finished watching it. It was way too much for me. It was funny as fuck. I'll say Tokyo Tony, when she's funny, she's really funny, but the downside to her is that she's so offensive and she thinks that she's literally okay, like she can just do it. Like she just thinks that it's okay. Remember when she was throwing money at homeless people and calling them all types of names? It's just like outside of you being the mother that you are, you just kind of a bitter person in general. And I think all of that has just been super prevalent in maybe Black China and hers dynamic over the years. And I see it so much in other forms. And it's just like, whoa, what's going on? Let me read some of y'all comments and then we can kind of wrap up here with this because I've been on for a little while. But let me scroll back up and read what y'all had to say about this. Let's see. Okay, so Unbiased TV said, as a man, I'm glad my mother was the opposite. She spoiled my sister and I had to establish myself on my own. But I still think that, a mother should just be equal in her treatment towards her children. So, I mean, like you said, you're happy that your sister was spoiled. But essentially at the end of the day, a mother should equally treat her kids with the same type of love, care, everything. And I think that's what is expected of both parents, but particularly the person who carried and pushed out the babies. Ani said, and for real, I'm a hoe because my butt is big. I don't care how I look. I'm not asking for it. Thank you. Well, I was just talking about that with my friend yesterday morning. We were just talking about like how like, okay, my booty's big, you feel me? And she has big boobs. And we were just talking about how like we get called names just for having some type of voluptuous asset. And most times than not, the first time you realize that you're endowed somewhere, whether it's your chest, your booty, whatever, is because your mother told you and your mother made some type of nice, nasty comment about it. And that I didn't get a body until like I was an adult. So mine didn't come from my mom, but even from just other people, sometimes even men, it's like, well, you got on them tight leggings and your butt is poking through. Don't you think I'm gonna look? I'm like, yeah, I know you're gonna look, but that doesn't mean that I have to be diminished for something I can't control, you know? Um, Someone said, let me see. Oh, 94 Keisha. Hey, Keisha girl. She said, also, I feel like trauma comes from different forms. It's not always physical or sexual. Sometimes it's emotional. Yes. And sometimes emotionally being hurt by your folks because they didn't know any better. Yes, I do think they don't know. Sometimes they don't know better because it is a repeated cycle. And we have to break that. That's why I'm so glad that transparency is a thing. It's just a thought of whether people are going to listen or not. But I definitely do agree. Nneka, how? Oh, yes, we got the Igbos in here tonight. Nneka Ugochukwu said, my only escape from being a Nigerian household is college, but having to come back home is kind of crucial. Girl, story of my life. I know that my first time coming home from college, I guess for winter break, my first semester, I wasn't dreading it, but I was like, you know what I'm saying? Because I grew up in a very strict household and everything, so I didn't want to have to come back home and be put under the same restrictive, guidelines and everything, especially having a little sister who was still in high school. I was treated like I was still in high school and I was in whole college for the longest, but I definitely agree with that. There's a lot of people that literally say the only way I escaped my household was going to college. That's so prevalent. And I feel like there's even a lot of young Black girls that they go to college or they go to some type of trade school or maybe esthetician or beauty school just so that they can come out of their household and not have to deal with that same cycle or that same environment. Jenna said, I don't think Black women are at the bottom at all, and I don't think y'all should be repeating or believing that. Yeah, like I said, we're not technically at the bottom, but socially that's what they want us to believe. I don't believe that either. I agree with you, but I'm just saying socially the taboo that is placed on Black women just for being Black women, that's just the viewpoint. But as you guys can see, Black women, whether you're a Black American, Nigerian, African, whatever, the whole imagery of what a Black woman is in terms of Black race has been very much pushed to the top. They just don't want to give us our credit, but we about to force them to. Melanated Thinker said, and daughters be the ones they rely on to take care of them when they're old, not the sons. Period. And another thing to add on to what you said, daughters be the ones that be literally the second mom of the household. I'm the firstborn daughter in my family. I take care of my siblings and I have older siblings. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one who is the level-headed one. I hold it down. I call my siblings. I get the group chats going. I'm the one that helps my parents with tech stuff. I help them online. I do all these different things that's expected of me, especially in Nigerian culture. As an Igbo woman, if you're the Ada, which means you're the firstborn daughter, ADA, you're the firstborn daughter of the family. There's a little term for that because it's that important. And oftentimes I feel like if you're the firstborn daughter with younger siblings, even if you have older siblings, there's this pressure on you from your mom in particular to just be another mother. And I hate that, especially for the girls that are like literally in elementary and middle school. I remember in high school, there was a girl who was on my step team and she was so good at step, but she could never stay after school and really participate because she's like, oh, I have to go home and take care of my siblings. I'm like, well, what about your mama and daddy? She's like, oh, my daddy ain't in the house, but my mama should be working, so I got to do it. I'm like, damn, like that's that shit. So, someone said single motherhood can definitely become a generational curse. Yeah, and I see it a lot. The biggest eye opener for me in regards to just women, period, but Black women in particular, was running a modeling agency in an inner city environment. Y'all think I became more judgmental? No, I've just seen the realities of all the things I've talked about right in front of my face, from the single motherhood, lack of resources, lack of education, family structure, generational curses. I see it right in front of me daily. I have a model who just texted me, not to put her business out, but she just texted me that she's going through a situation with finances. She has a 5-year-old daughter. So right now she can't really participate because she has to, make sure that her child is straight, which I understand. And I'm firsthand seeing this stuff where, let's be real, I wasn't raised with like the most stuff, but I had every basic necessity that I needed, because I had two parents in the household who were educated. Just that little basis of, yeah, my parents are immigrants, but they were educated and there was two of them. So the fact that I have me, my younger sister, my older brother, we were able to get at least the basic stuff because there was two people contributing. But when you have the whole, single motherhood thing and it's just you're doing it by yourself, you're trying to figure it out, you have this generational curse, you're going through this stuff by yourself. I pray her daughter doesn't become a single mom one day, but I'm just saying it can definitely happen. My auntie raised me, her and my mom, they both are single mothers. See, and I think that if we have these conversations, that's the only reason why I have these conversations, because like I said, I see it firsthand with my modeling agency, as well as just growing up with my friends. I have so many friends that are single moms, a lot, like most of my friends, I'm not gonna lie. Even some of the friends I met in college, but my high school friends, like a lot of them are single moms with kids. And it's just like, I see it right then and there. I just chose to be like, I can't go down that route because culturally I'm gonna get I'm gonna get tarnished. And just personally, I just don't want that. So I try to just be, have these conversations so that people know, like, just try to have a better choice, try to make a better choice. Let's see what else we got here. Crystal Okonkwo. No, we got the Igbos in here tonight. Oh my God. Y'all are showing out. Oh my God. Said, I'm the second born daughter. My older sister was worn down. Now I'm taking over her Ada position. Exactly. And like I said, in like Nigerian Igbo culture, to be the Ada of the family is like a very big thing. Like it's seriously, it is. And you have like so much more pressures. My sister and I are so close in age. I'm 25, like y'all know. My sister's 24. And I feel like I am the way how I am because I have a younger sister. Like I didn't want to be a bad role model for her because we're so close in age. So why am I getting emotional? But I've really tried to be such a good like role model for not only her but everybody, because I never wanted my sister to look up to me and be like, oh, my sister out here doing this, so I'm gonna do that. So I tried my best, and I think my sister appreciates that. Of course, we're close, but I really have tried to like just have these conversations so that people understand that, like, look, there are women that won't influence you to do the bad things or give you these generational curses or really hate on you. People call me a hater. Like I said, I accept the title, but I'm not really a hater. I'm just honest, but whatever. Somebody said raising your younger siblings makes you literally feel so effing angry. I never wanted kids because of that BS, for real. Stop making your kids raise your kids. Period. Yes. I know that has been, I've seen that in so many formats. And I think it comes down from that mother-daughter disconnect where now you have the single mother, even if there is a father in the home, you're just expected. There's this thing with mother to daughter relationships in Black communities where it's either some type of negative, traumatic situation where you feel like your mother's bullying you, or even if that's not the case, you now have all of these responsibilities that get offloaded on you, and that literally hinders the relationships between mothers and daughters. I see it all the time. Someone said, interesting that Igbos rely on the oldest daughter. I'm Yoruba, and my mother says it's the youngest daughter, me, who has to take care of my elders. That's interesting. Being that, it's still the same country, similar culture, but different because of the tribalism with that. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, in Igbo culture, literally being the Ada of the family is like a huge deal, to the point where my dad barely even calls me by my name. My dad literally calls me Ada more than anything. So, it's been ingrained in me to know that I am the older one who kind of gets that offloaded on me. And I never realized that it is a thing like prevalently, but I didn't have a breakdown this week, but I had like this moment of realization this week that a lot of the pressure that I put on myself comes from the fact that I am the oldest daughter in my family. So I naturally have had this like take care of everybody thing. And it has now offloaded into my personal life, which has affected my dating relationships and overstepping my boundaries, not staying within what I need to, doing too much for friends, always being the one that people rely on. And it has exhausted me to the point where, like I said, this summer I'm outside. come and see me outside because I don't want the pressure anymore. I just want to live my life. Let's see if there's anything else here. In the Haitian community, the oldest siblings are basically the parents of the youngest siblings. Yeah. And don't let it be that your parents had you at a certain time and then they took this 10-year gap and had more siblings. That's like the worst one, because it's like usually with siblings, you all are looking out for one another when you're kind of close in age, like me and my sister do. But my brother is literally like 6 years older than me. And I think he's like 8 years older than my sister, but he's a man, so it doesn't really affect him as much. But it's like if he was a girl, I feel like it would be a whole different dynamic, to the point where he would have to take care, well, she would have to take care of us even more, and be like that secondary parent. Let's see. Chioma, I'm almost about to finish college. I really don't want to come back home after college because I'm about to graduate from college in a year. My mom is so overprotective. I think there has to just be like a conversation made. My mom and I had like a heart-to-heart conversation after some time, and that kind of eased it. I know not everybody's parent is receptive to that, because especially in cultures that are like, I guess you could say, ethnic, everything is taken as disrespect. It's like if you just try to have a conversation with your Nigerian parent, it's like, oh, you're being disrespectful, which is like not the case. But try to have a conversation where at a distance, like call on the phone while you're in college and get that conversation going. Probably try to be a little bit more vulnerable. I feel like the time when you're finally vulnerable, your mom or whomever usually understands, like, it is what it is. Now my daughter needs me in a different format than what I've given her all this time. So I plan to tell my daughter every freaking mistake I've ever made. And I want to tell her before she's even 18, because the kids is younger and younger, you know what I'm saying? And they know it more and more. And I feel like I have to be that transparent, because I would be so heartbroken if my daughter makes some of the mistakes that I've made. I'll be so heartbroken. And I'll be more heartbroken if I didn't try to help prevent it, and be proactive. So I've been on here for exactly 2 hours now, y'all. So this has been a great conversation. I love everything that we've talked about. Thank you, everybody, for coming in here. If y'all wanted to get your last few questions out, I can answer some over the next like 5 minutes, but 2 hours is a long time. So go ahead and ask whatever, and then I'll kind of tap out of here and let everybody enjoy their Saturday. Like I told y'all, I am outside this summer, so I'm trying to be outside doing things. Let's see, y'all. I see people is trying to be, the weather then got warm in Ohio. I'm trying to be outside. Someone said 5 more minutes, please. Yeah, go ahead and ask the questions. Like I said, this live will be saved, so you can come back and get the replay if you missed anything. If you got here late, you can definitely watch everything back. I do not delete lives. At least I used to, but now I don't. I keep butt dialing. Like, let me just shut this phone off and turn it around. Because what? Why do you keep trying to play me like that? Like, stop. Someone said, Chioma, what do I do? My relationship failed because my mom doesn't let me go anywhere. College is my escape. On top of that, I'm not having sex till marriage. I think what I did was I just put my foot down, and not even in a disrespectful way. I was just honest, and I said, look, I'm an adult now. I've been in college. You have to tell them that, look, you've been in college basically fending for yourself for the past semester or however long it's been. And that when I told my parents, like, I'm in college, I've been living on my own. You guys haven't been around me. I've been having to make my own choices, maintain my grades, maintain my job. I'm at an age where I should be having a little bit more freedom and respect. And then just see where it goes from there. I don't know. Everybody's parent can react differently. But I think that if you can put your foot down in a respectful manner, but also just be honest about what stage you're at your adulthood, they should be able to be receptive. Because my parents was overprotective, but also strict, and also restricted me from social. I had never been to a sleepover in my life. Like now, of course, but in my life, growing up, high school, never, ever. Like that's how serious it was for me. So Yeah. What else do y'all have? I hope that helps. Let me know, update me, follow me on Instagram or something, email me once you ever you do. Let's see. Someone said improve to them that you can still be in a relationship and maintain good grades in school. Yeah, you just have to show your parents, like, even as far as having a YouTube. My parents used to tell me, why are you wasting your time? Are you really making money? I had to prove to them, like, this is my full-time job. And then they got off my back, you know? Someone said, we outside all 23. Yes, I am. This is my first summer outside. So you feel me? If you see me, I met a subscriber last week. I was outside. I went to this event in Detroit with my cousins. We went to Jerk and Jollof. It's an event where it's like an African and Caribbean party. I think they have them in different cities around the United States as well. But we went to it in Detroit last week and it was a vibe. And the girl who was doing like the wristbands, she just started was like, oh my god, I'm a subscriber, and she gave me a hug. We were chopping it up. Her name was Whitney. If you're watching, shout out to you. I remember. So yeah, you see what being outside did to me. I was able to meet some subscribers, so I need to be outside. If you guys ever see me out, don't hesitate to speak. I am not weird, you feel me? If I'm looking crazy, I probably won't take no picture, but I don't really care anyway, because I mean, fuck it. But yeah, I am not weird at all. So say hello, chop it up, take a picture, do whatever. Even if I'm with my people, I'll still stop because everybody around me understands. So, why aren't parents helping their kids with their credit scores? Hey, that's another thing I should touch on. There's a lot of parents that are messing up their child's credit because they're taking out credit lines in their child's name. That's another form of abuse. And I feel like that should be illegal because I see that a lot. That happened to my cousin. Now she's sitting here in debt. Like I said, my same cousin I've been talking about, her mom did that to her as well. I don't know. I don't know. We need to do better. Can't wait for more of your music to come out. Oh, thank you. Stream ceremony, if you guys haven't already. I haven't even checked the streams yet. I gotta get on my United Masters, but I know that Ballin and Ceremony have been doing well. And I have I'm shooting the music video this Friday. So make sure you guys are following me on social media, or if you just follow me on YouTube, I'll post it on my story on here, some of the behind the scenes stuff. I can't wait for y'all to see it. I just went to the venue yesterday afternoon just to check out everything. So the video is coming soon. Someone said, let's see. OMG, yes, I'm in Detroit and I wanted to go. Oh my God, you should have came. I went. It was a vibe. If they have another one, I'm definitely gonna be in there because it was a vibe. Like it was, I like the setup that they have. It was like the bar was on one side and then like the actual dance floor was on the other side. It was good. It rained really bad that day, but and they had the jerk chicken in the club. Like it was, you could buy the little platters. When I tell you, I was licking my fingers the next morning. The food was so good. And Neka said, Chioma, come to ATL. I'm scared of Atlanta. I had a really bad situation. But I definitely should come back to ATL because I need to just do some networking over the next few months. And this summer, I have my modeling agency. We're coming back for our third season. Can y'all believe I have a third season of my business? Most businesses fail in 2 years. Somehow mine is still going. I don't know. But I kind of toned it down this summer with like the commitment so I could travel and network and stuff. So I'll be around, but my meet and greet is definitely going to be in the DMV. So for everybody that's in DMV, I probably will have it in PG County or maybe Baltimore. I'm also scared of Baltimore too. So I don't know about that, but I do have a lot of following in that area. So I'll definitely be out there this summer. Someone said, why did you re-record Ceremony? Because I got a new beat. The beat sounds similar, but I had to get the beat remade, and I recorded the first version with a different engineer, and that engineer didn't have my session because engineers, I guess they don't be saving sessions after a while, just because I mean it's a lot of space. So with my new engineer, I just re-recorded it, and honestly, it sounds way better than the first. Because yesterday I was listening to both versions, and I was like, I'm glad I didn't put out this first version because my voice, like I've been working on singing. I think I got better, but my voice was not sounding good at all. So, Chama, wait until marriage for kids. I am too. You are teaching me a lot. Thanks. Yeah, I'm definitely waiting. There won't be no baby. You'll see me at that clinic. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna just keep it 1,000%. You'll see me at that clinic before I even try that. But I'm celibate, so we don't have to worry about that at the moment. I would love to be getting some, but I just haven't met. I don't think there's the guys that I come in contact with. They're just not worth it. Like not even in the littlest bit. Especially now that like with the social media following, people equate me to it a lot. It's like sometimes I feel like the guys talk to me because they like the idea of what I am, but I don't know if they truly understand that I'm really not a social media girl like they would think, like an IG model type of girl. I may come off that way, like maybe looks wise, maybe, or just the fact that I have the following. But these guys be so shallow. Like I hate to expose these niggas, but it's just one football player. And I just kind of feel like when he tried to talk to me, it was just so surface level. I did not enjoy it. I didn't like it. But yeah. Someone said, did I talk about the Latasha and Tamika? No, I'm not gonna talk about it because to be quite honest, I think I'm a little too young. I don't really have no like recollection of Escape or SWV. I don't know nothing about them. I only really know Tiny from T.I. and Tiny. That was my first time even knowing what it is. I'm gonna be real. I was born in 97. Never really listened to Escape or SWV and nothing. I don't know too much about it. I see what it is, but I don't know too much about it to really report on it. So I just kind of watched everybody else's video. But for me to report on it, it seemed like the sister was, stealing the $30,000 check. She deserved to get her ass whooped. That's all I can say. Because why are you stealing from your sister? It's crazy. Can I send you beats? Yeah, you can email them or I'll put it in the chat. Email them or message my manager. I'm going to put it in the chat on Instagram at NMP Management. He handles all of that. So you can send them to him. Just DM him if you have Instagram and say, hey, I was just on Queen Choma's live stream. She gave me your contact to send beats. And then you can just directly do it that way because it'll definitely come to me if you do it through him. I might miss it because my DMs and everything be too much, but his is so much more direct and then I definitely get it. Someone said, ladies, just date out. I missed it. Just date out. The BC is toxic. Sorry, not sorry. You've seen how our brothers and peers are raised to end up. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm doing white guys now, or I've added white guys into the mix. I know people want people to be like, oh, divest from black men and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but I also still have physical attraction to black men. So I'm just being real. But I've added white guys into my mix, like not actually yet, but I'm open, you know what I'm saying? Or just anything but black. I'm open to anything at this point, you know what I'm saying? My last ex was like, I mean, he's gonna come off black, but he was like mixed, but not like white and black mixed, but he was like black and mixed. Like his mama's mixed, his daddy was black. So I don't know what you want to call that. You have awareness and that will be one of your biggest strengths. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Can you do a call-in show? I've been wanting to do that. I just have to figure out how to do that like on Zoom or something. I do want to do that because I want to hear from y'all. But y'all, I kind of overstayed my welcome, maybe. Someone said white guys starting to look good. Yeah, I've been watching Love is Blind. I'm like, hold on. Or not Love is Blind, Love Island. I'm like, hold on, they got some good looking white men coming through here. Started opening my eyes a little bit. I'm like, okay, I'm definitely open. I'm open to all. I'm open to all. I will never just, hold myself out. StreamYard for call-ins. Okay, I'll look into that. But yeah, guys, I've been on here for 2 hours. I need to go turn my air on because it got hot today, and now I feel like my house is too warm and I'm too hot. I literally enjoy the live streams. I enjoy talking to you guys. I really enjoy stuff like this, especially to be more personable. I'm going to get back on camera, like I said, very soon. I got the new mic. I have a new camera that's coming in. So I'll do more in-person or person-to-person videos so that y'all can see like my face and my mannerisms. Because I feel like because people just listen to my voice, they just kind of can make up whatever they want to see, but if they actually see me, it might come off a little different. But hey, I am who I am. So I will definitely work on getting the StreamYard for the call-in, maybe do some Zooms. If you guys want to talk directly, like I said, I'm going to be on my Instagram for the rest of the night. I'm about to just go chill. I might go outside. I might be outside tonight. Like I said, my friends came into town, so I'm trying to be outside. But 40 Shorty sent another $5 and said, ladies, let the black men go. Date out, vet each and every strand of hair and DNA. These males are scary to just be procreating with or dating, period. Period. Thank you so much for the super chat and tuning in. I appreciate you guys again, and I'll see you guys in my next one. All right. Bye, y'all. Have a good night.